This college basketball picks and Ivy League Conference Tournament edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by our college basketball survivor contest. First place can win up to $75,000. Enter today at splashsports.com/SGPN.
Hey, this is Derek Stevens. I'm the owner of Circa Las Vegas. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog. Hello, Sean.
What's happening?
Electric day. God's eye was dialed in all the way up to basically 8 college basketball games on for the entire day.
No,
a couple lulls. I do like how they're getting us used to the afternoon slow period and then ramp it right back up around 4 p.m. just like tournament days.
Yeah, a little break in the action there, breaking it up. But a bunch of good picks. Fortunately, I was 1 and 2 on my locks, but going into these late games, I'm looking at 12 and 6 ATS with some nice juicy winners in there. LaSalle got there late. Joining us online from the college experience, Colby Nant, aka Pick Dundee. Colby, what's happening? Fortunately, Iowa, we couldn't get the Fran special. Iowa barely didn't get through that back door, but LaSalle did get it done. The heat was in the hat. How you feeling? You're sweating out the ECU game live.
Just missed a free throw right now with 6 seconds left. So, I'm doing all right. I mean, I'll be honest, St. Joe's was lucky there wasn't one more minute on the clock or they would have lost that game because LaSalle had it rolling late. The shipment still came in, baby. I want to send a special send off to the great Fran Dunphy. Hell of a legend, and always, even in a loss, he covers for us.
CSUN, RIP. Could not get excited about CSUN making the tourney. The Gauchos rolling on. What are some of the other UNC with a nice win and cover against Wake there, 5.5. The Blob came through. Mayo boy, 81-75 for St. Louis.
Ole Miss.
Oh, that was crazy. And there goes my Arkansas to win the SEC conference tournament future
for many reasons. One, if you don't remember, I actually don't remember which college basketball outlet had this, but Marshall Henderson from years past, we remember his amazing run and his iconic white guy image. He was celebrating the Padula game winner, who, by the way, still managed to go under his points for you idiots to hit your underdog entry.
Of course.
And he's a former Hokie doing awesome things somewhere else. It's a lot of and the Giants still don't have a fucking quarterback, Sean.
Yes, a lot going on in the.
Listen, I had an NFL size bet on Ole Miss parlayed with St. Louis. Ole Miss has to push. At that point, I was rooting for overtime. I'm like, overtime. Let's get this thing over the.
Well, I mean, you want to talk about the. You don't want to talk about.
And then don't get me started. Buzz.
Rooting for overtime. Kramer, that Texas A&M game. That was the hardest I've laughed at a game in a long time because he kept saying, "Hey, get overtime, get overtime." They get to overtime, then another overtime. Neither team could get off a clean shot. Just offensive rebound after offensive rebound. But Buzz
didn't even take his jacket off. I don't think he was. I think he wanted to lose this game. Rest up for the tourney.
Texas.
He didn't take the jacket off the whole game. He didn't take the jacket.
Texas making a run into the tourney. We'll see. Colby, do they have to win one more game? Where are they at?
No, I think they're in after today. And then you had San Diego State lose to Utah State. You had Xavier lose. So not Utah State. It was
is San Diego State out? What do we think about that?
I actually think they might be the last team in. They have that win over Houston that might travel well, but I can tell you this: Xavier, I think, is out. Xavier, I think, is out with that loss.
Sean, who's the scientist in The Simpsons? I didn't want to get too far off of Texas.
Professor
whatever
Frank.
Does he not a little bit look like Rodney Terry, the head coach, when he's wearing those thick Coke bottle glasses? What happened?
What's going on, Colby? Give us a live update on ECU.
ECU steals unnecessarily, dunks the ball with half a second left to cover the 3.5. Let's go.
We believe in the Pirates.
Very necessary.
Oh,
I got ECU.
I got you guys right here. Don't worry about it. All right. Right here. There's just here's the intro.
And may the Schwartz be with you. What a world.
Let's go, baby. Unnecessarily dunking it. That's what we do to a shitty little town like San Antonio. All right. It's your little Riverwalk bullshit. You know,
I don't know if the soundboard can handle all the the action.
It's just congratulations, Colby.
Nice win, Colby, for the ECU Pirates.
Glad something good's happening for you.
Well, and Kramer, you were talking about waiting around for the Giants quarterback news. We actually have a photo of Kramer taking a long walk on the beach there, just waiting for updates. Will it be Aaron Rodgers? Will it be Russell Wilson? Jameis Winston?
So this is mostly offensive to me because, I mean, I made the joke, but this is literally something my wife would do. Like, grab the blanket, so I can be warm while I'm walking on the beach.
Well, the best part was Aaron Rodgers. This is obviously Aaron Rodgers going on a long beach walk. Thinking,
do we know
what
what beach?
I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head.
It's like a cold East Coast beach.
It's got to be Northern California, I think.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he goes back there. He hates his family, right?
He's got a lot to unpack. Lot going on with the old Rodgers.
Yeah. I don't even know what. Again, I have no update on the quarterback situation. Although I will say, Travis Hunter at 3.
Okay.
With this roster, quarterback away, Sean.
One quarterback
away.
Well, if you listen to Colby, you don't need quarterbacks. So
that's what I'm thinking.
It doesn't.
So Colby,
doesn't matter.
Eli Manning's proof, Sean.
Colby, what do you think? Malik Neighbors and Travis Hunter on the same offense. That sounds pretty fun.
Yeah, I mean Travis Hunter will be good no matter what. You know what I mean? That's a 100% guarantee. The quarterbacks are always tricky, you know, but Travis Hunter will be good no matter what.
Let's get into it. We got a bunch of games Friday, jam-packed Friday slate, maybe even a couple. Are we getting any Saturday games?
Ivy League.
Oh yes, the Ivy League, the Tournament of Champions.
Yes,
Princeton, Yale, Dartmouth, Cornell.
I forgot to wear my mask. I was going to do the whole show with the mask on.
Oh yeah, the brave heroes of the Ivy League when they decided to not play sport. Very brave.
No. And then they decided to play sport with a mask on for the whole year.
Yeah, what happened? So they
canceled the 20 season. Yeah. They canceled that next season. The following year, they wore certain teams wore a mask the entire season.
I think it was
Columbia U. I'm sure that's healthy, by the way. That oxygen.
Well, what's interesting? Yeah, I mean, you saw it on sports field all over the country, where like these people were trying to follow the rules, but they were also trying to still play sports, and it came to this like hilarious intersection of like, guys, like pause and think about what's happening for a second. This is like who was it this year? Illinois decided to not shake hands because they were sick. They were worried about extra contact after playing 40 minutes of college basketball.
Yeah, I know they have the what is that circle, the restriction area under the basket, but other than that, you are pretty close to everyone. Colby, we have a quick update, courtesy. So I got this from a fan listener sent this in. So Colby still calling George Washington the Colonials is actually a huge Benedict move. Colonies implies you are still under British control. Revolutionaries told them to fuck off. Not everything is about being woke. Sometimes it's fuck the limeys. Yeah, motherfucker, doesn't recognize the first 13 states. Colby, do you care to comment?
George Washington. I grew up. I first took breath in Washington D.C. and that has always been the most pussy institution. All right, all right. I mean, come on. Let's get out of here. You cancel your football program. You stay as the Colonials because you had a logo of George Washington with the basketball doing a crossover, right? And now you
awesome logo.
Why'd you get rid of that then? Why'd you get rid of George Washington's face entirely on the logo?
That makes no sense. And shout out to the anonymous listener, aka Scott Bowser. Thanks for sending that in, Bowser. Appreciate you, anonymous listener.
I should have known. I should have known from the start.
Getting the
and he's in the chat. Shout out to Bowser. Here we go. Well, Bowser sent that in. That was like one of the first texts I woke up to this morning. I'm like, oh, this is great stuff. Awesome work, Bowser. Appreciate it. Keeping Colby over here on his toes.
Why'd they get rid of George Washington in general? That's what I want to know. They keep the name, but don't show the photo anymore.
Well, he's a little controversial.
Scott pointing out that Colby reading his kid the Magna Carta every night. You know, the King of England got a bad rap there, White Tiger. I'll tell you this. It's a good guy.
I like
all he wanted to do. He was a reasonable man. Just wanted to wanted a little taste of the tea.
I got to be honest. The idea of Bowser and Colby exploring historical events together.
Oh, okay. Approved
in the form of telling it as a story to White Tiger. I mean, we don't have
some form of drunk history, but you get Bowser and
we don't have a kids program yet. Sean.
No, we need more children's programming. That was one of the big notes.
Colby could wear his candy necklace.
Yeah. Okay.
St. Bonaventure, VCU. I, of course, sitting on a nice VCU ticket. 8:30 a.m. on the East Coast. God bless all day college basketball in the nation's capital that Colby was just talking about there. VCU laying a big 11.5. You know, I keep talking about these situations where teams go from, you know, playing to playing the much better team that hasn't played. And sometimes you see these teams just kind of, you know, level up, disappear, get completely blown off the court, which feels like this situation, Colby.
Sorry, it's Middle Tennessee just won in double overtime against Louisiana Tech. Louisiana Tech missed the game winner. Shout out to the Blue Raider Nation out there. Look, in this game, it's tricky because VCU's been far and away better than almost every team. They're better than every team in the A-10, but the Bonnies caught them once, and that was in New York, though. They got drilled when they went to Richmond, but Mark Schmidt historically is fantastic in the tournament. So I will take the points with the Bonnies. I like the fact they got the play-in game. Give me those points.
Is VCU in with a loss here?
I think so.
To me, and nice win of the Bonnies over the Dukes there, Duquesne. But I just love VCU coming off a loss, and their last regular season game they lost a heartbreaker to Dayton at home, 79-76. Instantly, they've had almost a full week to sit on this game, looking ahead, chomping at the bit. I'm gonna go rest here instead of rust, and I'm gonna take the Bonnies VCU laying the big number against the Bonnies. 11.5, not big enough.
Yeah, I think if they lose, if they lose back to back to end the season, there's definitely a risk they miss. They miss out.
Well, they've only had a few losses, but their losses aren't good. So that's if you're building a case against them, losing to St. Louis in that fat blob of mayo, losing to Dayton at home, losing to St. Bonaventure, losing to New Mexico on the road, losing to Nevada on a neutral, losing to
that's the worst one. The other ones actually have winning records. Like the other ones are like 20 win teams. The Nevada one is the one.
Nevada and Seton Hall.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the Seton Hall one. That's the worst one.
Is just simply the A-10 isn't a 2-bid conference, and so
that could hurt them. But
it is if they get upset.
Well, I mean, if they make it,
I think they'll make it.
There's a chance if they lose this game, they do not make it.
There is a chance, but if they go to the conference championship game and lose to Dayton, I think they're soundly in.
Oh I just think they can't lose this game. So yeah, I'm gonna lay the points.
Fuck Woj. They didn't respond to my $200 bid for a Zoom call. Who the hell do you think you are? You're too good. At least tell me we lost the silent auction.
Do you think they were insulted by the offer being too low? I think
200 was a suggested offer.
Do they not realize who Colby Dant is?
Yeah, if anything, I mean, look at Colby's numbers, putting up numbers over on TCE, better than fucking Woj. Yeah, he gets some Twitter impressions. He couldn't put up podcast numbers that Colby's getting.
Should I compare and put my cell phone up? You can call Jim McMahon.
Yeah, if anything, Woj should be calling. We should just randomly call Jim McMahon. Like, what? You guys want to get some weed, man?
I have a very strange list. A bunch of comedians and Jim McMahon and I don't know, a few other ones that are like
That's
random.
A great plug. We're doing next week while Colby's in town. We're going to do a Patreon episode.
Oh yeah,
SGP stories, where we're going to talk about just March Madness stories. But I think we also need to pop open Colby's Rolodex and name a couple random people.
Oh, we got Jerry Glanville. Jerry Glanville's on here.
Oh, that's great.
Oh,
well, that is if you're coming out to Vegas, if you're going to see us at the Rhythm Party, if you get me drunk enough, I will show you famous people's phone number in my phone that I have. That as long as if you want to copy it down and dial Big Cat or whoever else is in there, feel free. But I will not take. I won't actually text it to you. But if you want to manually copy it, these drunk Canadians, I looked up like every famous person I could find that I ran into in Vegas and was just like, call them sometime. They'll love to hear from you. So it was pretty funny. Hey, good reminder, come out to the Rhythm Party, hang out with us. Of course, sign up with Rhythm, get your 7-day free trial, then come hang out in Vegas, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/party, RSVP. So you make sure you get in there. And of course, obviously Rhythm dominate March Madness with Rhythm. Get your 7-day free trial. Love us some Rhythm, and the $250 future. If you can't make it out to the party, you can still get in on the future. Rhythm did a great job. They were on LaSalle money line the other day. There they had Duquesne, NC State, and Oakland all money line dogs last tournament. So fire them up for March Madness. You're going to want to stick around with them even after you fill out your bracket and get started today. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. And of course, shout out to Edge Boost. Love me the Edge Boost Visa debit card. You get up to $750 cash back each month. I've been using my cashback rewards to get down on these long shot conference tournament futures, and it's great because it's not my money; it's Edge Boost's money. I don't care; it's great. It's free. It helps us. You go to edgeboost.bet, use the promo code SGPN, and as if they're not hooking you up enough, they are also hooking us up with $2,000 to give away for free in our bracket contest over at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bracket. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bracket.
All right. Are we ready to continue?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just looking at some of the wild names. I actually think this thing might be better than Woj's. I'm going to be honest.
All right, this is well, that could be a fun, get an opportunity to
between Stone Labanowitz, Jerry Glanville, Michael Madsen.
Oh wow!
Who I thought, and Theo Vaughn. Well, I mean, we could do this. We could do this. Yeah. Michael Madsen got his phone number. I thought we were going to do that. He was supposed to be in our pilot, Sean, and it just didn't work out.
There's some good.
No way that number still works, right?
You never know. Some famous people, I think, get new numbers, and then other people now just probably block anyone and move on.
I accidentally called someone once, so I actually delete contacts. I don't
really.
I would. Yeah, which is a little surprising.
Very surprising.
Know some of my practices, but yeah, you don't need all the names in there.
I think I need to do. I think this has sparked me to do a sweep. I haven't done it.
Sweep.
I haven't deleted a contact in a long time. So yeah.
Some fun names in there.
Yeah, dab break and then maybe delete a contact or two. Like striving to delete your digital footprint. Very important nowadays. Oregon, Michigan State. We're back in Indy. 9 a.m. out here. Nice early start. Michigan State laying 5.5. That Oregon Indiana game was interesting. Didn't really come away from it thinking Oregon was great, more than Indiana kind of let down. Michigan State's gonna roll. I think. I don't know if they win the whole thing, but I think they get this one done. I'll lay it.
Colby, what are you doing?
I like we see what we had to do. We had to be quiet for him to say I'll lay it. We had to just wait. Yeah.
The show comes to a standstill, and Ryan's going to announce his pick.
It's good that Colby's announcing his position now. It's going to be one of those shows.
5.5. I'm a little. I liked Oregon and Indiana. I was kind of bummed that they played each other. I took the Indiana long shot stuff for the conference tournament just because they had a bit of momentum. I have Oregon to make the Final Four, so I kind of don't mind either result here because I think Oregon at Michigan State could be making runs in the tournament. No, I'm just saying if either of these teams get knocked out in the conference tournament, I'm not going to be pissed because I think it will help them for the real tournament if they get out early. Like Michigan State, they fall under that banner, but I don't know if they want to win the conference tournament.
I think you kind of want Oregon to win it though. Like Oregon falls in the category for me of a team that I'm not going to totally ding.
I think they need probably to win a couple more games, get the momentum going. But if they win the entire Big Ten conference tournament and then run it all the way to the Final Four, that's a crazy run, which I don't think they can do. But this game itself is kind of intriguing. 5.5 is right on the number. They hung around last time they played Michigan State. Colby, what are you doing?
I mean, they didn't just hang. Like this team was up by double digits majority of that game, and Michigan State just went on a crazy run to end that game. Horrible beat for the Oregon Betters. That was in East Lansing. This one's in Indianapolis. Give me the Ducks. Altman's teams always play great around this time of year. They've won 7 straight. And I like the fact they just got that play-in game at that stadium there. So give me the Ducks. I think the money line's live.
Man, this one is tough because Izzo has been great in these conference tournaments, but I think it's a hair. I hate fading either one of these teams at this point. I'll take Oregon plus 5.5 because I think it's just a hair too high. But I'm not locking it up because Michigan State could certainly roll here. Kramer, what are you doing?
Like I said, I'm laying it. I think this is going to be. I think there's just going to be a different level of physicality in this game compared to what Indiana brought. Indiana kind of no-showed, so we don't understand what Oregon is, and I'm kind of with you. I think they could go on a little bit of a run, but I think Michigan State's going to roll in this game.
Do you guys remember? And you might not remember because you guys were in clear football mode at the time. But there was this NIL tournament in November where they're giving away a bunch of money, and Oregon went through. I think it was 8 Texas A&M, San Diego State, and Alabama with ease. So I feel like you're kind of in that part of the year where the shit matters. They're a legit team.
I love what I've seen out of this Oregon team, and they kind of almost blew that game against Indiana at home, but then they figured it out. I mean, to me, Indiana, we didn't even talk about BYU. BYU just looks awesome. I know
they do. Dude, today I couldn't believe that game. I really felt good with Iowa State. I was like, no way this happens twice. Unbelievable.
They fumbled the bag. Iowa State dropped and then BYU took advantage of every opportunity.
BYU, you don't have a big margin against this BYU team right now. They're going to be it was
not looking good towards the end of that game.
No,
and they just
they can close out strong. They're a very interesting team.
Kennesaw State, Liberty, Colby's favorite Flames, Lane 7.5.
Your favorite Owls too.
Down in, I mean. We have Owlgate is we are diving into it. Although this is Kennesaw State, a solo owl conference.
Florida Atlantic used to be Owls with them.
They moved over to the conference with 3 owls now. They unbalanced the owl.
They got rid of one owl and they said, "Hey, well, we got Kennesaw, we're fine."
I did not catch any of the Kennesaw game today, so. Have nothing to reflect on, but perhaps a step up in class, like I was referring to in the VCU Bonnies game.
This is a fascinating game because Liberty had a chance to clinch the 1 seed back on March 2nd, right? at home, in Lynchburg, Virginia, there against Kennesaw. Kennesaw went in there and won by 5. And then Liberty still ended up getting the 1 seed later, but I mean that was only I think the next game. But Kennesaw, that's probably the hardest place to win at the CUSA. So that was a statement win to me.
Yeah.
I'll take the points. Like I Liberty's got I would say the edge on, they just lost to them, so you can make adjustments and stuff. But the fact it's in Huntington, Alabama too, I think you might get more of a Kennesaw crowd than a Liberty crowd. So give me the Owls of Kennesaw State.
I'm with you. The 7.5 feels like a hair high, and Kennesaw obviously playing. Oh, they beat Liberty, like you said. They beat Jacksonville State, New Mexico State, who I thought had a really good defense. That was a nice win. And I'm laughing because Kyle, Vikings fan Kyle in the chat saying, "I love gambling and I love sports." We got to find that sound drop again of those guys who are really drunk. I love you guys and I love betting. Or what was the phrase, Ryan?
I think it is. I love gambling. It was like I love gambling and I love sports.
Oh, maybe he's quoting that sound drop.
Exact, yeah.
Kennesaw State, Conference USA in general. Looking at some of these scores, it's a competitive conference. I think it might be a little tough to get a blowout. So I'll take the 7.5 with you, Colby. Kramer, what are you doing?
You guys are falling into the trap. They're stepping up. We're taking Liberty. Easy money. Although this is the first time I'm going against they just beat them trend. So I'm knowingly doing something I said I wasn't going to do. Wichita State, Memphis laying 9.5. Shockers again, referring to a shock of wheat. 10 a.m. on the West Coast. Colby, which side are you locking up?
I mean, let me just quickly get you some nuggets here, but Wichita State fucks with them, man. This is one I'm so shocked that that Wichita State should have beat them twice this year. They ended their AAC tournament hopes last year, and they're playing a lot better ball towards the end of the season. Wichita is, so I will definitely take. I think the money line is in play here, guys. This is in Fort Worth, Texas, too, so I don't expect Memphis to have some clear home edge. I got it loading. But I'm all over Wichita on this spot. Yeah. How about this? So, Wichita's won 2 of the last 3, but the last 4 games, they lost at Memphis 65-63. Then they won by 6 last year in Fort Worth. Then they lost by 8, but it was like a 3-point game in Memphis with like a minute left. And then they won by 5 in Wichita back on February 16th. This is a team that for whatever reason, you can go back further too. Memphis had won like 5-6 in a row against them, but they were some close outings for the most part.
Yeah, I'm with you. This number is way too high. Wichita State, solid competitive team, getting a bunch of points, and some of their advanced numbers don't look too shabby here. They don't put you at the line. That's one of their highlights there on defense. I like this spot for them, and they've played them competitive all season. So 9.5, way too high. Kramer, what are you doing?
Feel like you guys keep falling into the same trap.
What, taking dogs?
Yeah,
you're making a mistake on this one. Memphis is in regardless.
90% favorite strategy wasn't doing wonders today, right?
Again, we don't always want to just react to what just happened.
There's recency bias.
But what about last meeting? What about the last meeting situation?
It was an overtime thriller, was it right? It was an overtime thriller. Which the better team was Wichita State, says the scoreboard. That's fine. I'm going against that today. Strong Island building over here. 3 straight Island games for me. Lay it with Memphis.
Strong Island. Play the Long Island guy, Colby. I gotta hear that one more time.
All I know is we're hard-working, tax-paying people like you, and we don't take shit from nobody. You got that, asshole? Ask me. The fucking union that works for you.
What is that from?
Oh, I gotta send you, dude. It's gold. It's gold. It's just some commercial. It's someone dubbed over a commercial back in like I think the 80s or something,
Okay.
and it's absolute gold. There's another part
Marbles. Go ahead.
What's that? No, there's a part where it's like, I mean, can we actually we could play it on here. Let me find it. You're gonna love this.
All right.
While Colby's tracking that down, reminder: get in. $75,000 up for grabs. We're going to be doing a Survivor contest, college basketball in March. Survivor, $25 entry fee, up to $20 entries. Ryan, how many entries are you going to be by?
I currently have 4.
I might max.
What's the max?
I might
Is it
max
20?
enter. I think it's 20, just to dominate this Survivor. Take down up to 75,000. So let's fill this thing up. Come on.
That would be sharp, I guess.
Everyone, I know the audience, the chat, they're always chirping. Oh, you guys don't know shit. I could pick better. Put your money where your mouth is. Splashsports.com/SGPN. Get in. Come on, do battle with us. Unless you're scared. If you're scared, buy a dog and don't enter the Survivor contest.
A lot
big dogs only.
Some are saying that many are scared. Yeah. Some are saying. I mean, all these TCE honks.
Yeah, I thought that. Where's your chat goons when you need them, Colby? Come on.
I'm gonna challenge them. Don't worry. I just sent you. By the way, I just sent you gold. You could thank me later because you should bookmark this. Download it. Do whatever you got to do. It's absolute gold.
It's gold, Jerry.
All right. So let me. Give me a second. I'll get this playing.
We got a score update here from Giovanni saying Yukon leaves Nova in the dust. Yeah.
Why'd you say his name like that?
Giovanni. And Travis. Travis also pointed out Yukon money line, last leg of the parlay to cash for 380. Thanks for the locks, goats. Appreciate that.
Feels a little racist the way you said
Giovanni. What's racist about that?
That feels a little. That felt a little over Italian.
Over Italian?
Was that not?
Can there ever be too much Italian?
It's unreal.
We were talking about the creation of how the Super Mario Brothers, like you had this Japanese company create two plumbers that were Italian trying to get pussy essentially and get the princess.
Taking mushrooms. Do you want it?
They had to be inspired by a porn, right? This had to be a porn.
You know that does that.
He's here to fix your pipes. Let me in, princess. Let me see that peach.
I mean, I'm not being funny here. This has really got to be what it is, right? It has to be what it is. Yeah.
So, all right. I'm gonna hit play.
This is gold.
Oh, we don't have sound.
No.
Did you give me sound?
I heard sound.
Hey, on your way to work tomorrow, instead of sitting around with your finger up your ass, look around. There's a union out there called AFSCME, and they're busting their balls for you doing a lot of shit work you take for granted. For example, we pick up your fucking garbage. We got broads out there who keep your kids from getting run over by some hard-on. We plug up the holes in the road so you don't fuck up your car. We push around a lot of little old ladies from Florida. We're out there zapping rats and roaches and making sure your kids don't drink piss from no fucking water fountains. We're fucking AFSCME, Amalgamated Federalization. Hey, I don't know what the fuck it means. All I know is we're hard-working, tax-paying people like you, and we don't take shit from nobody. You got that, asshole? AFSCME, the fucking union that works for you. Hey, on your way to work tomorrow, instead of sitting around with your...
Oh man,
so good.
Make sure your kids don't. We're out there zapping roaches and rats, so your kids don't drink no fucking piss from no water fountain.
How did you come across this?
Me, I've had that bookmark for like 20 years, man.
Colby's suggested YouTube is a very treacherous place.
A couple of the TVs are logged in as him. It is very interesting. There's some like dog meditation music, very old like
pack of dogs,
pixely college football videos, all sorts of good stuff. All right, we continue. Ole Miss coming off the buzzer beater Now they take on Auburn. Bruce Pearl is looking extremely ready for the test. But I think the test is not this tournament. It's the next tournament. Auburn's laying 11.5. I feel like this is an obvious take Ole Miss spot. Big number. Colby.
Yeah, I mean, we just saw this game and it got away from them in the second half. Ole Miss was there in the first half, and then that was the momentum of the jungle. I know Auburn's lost back-to-back games, but I still love anytime you get Chris Beard as a dog. I think more times than not, when I say a dog, I mean like a substantial dog. This is 11.5. He'll cover this. Let's go. Give me the Rebs.
I see the logic there, but I'm actually going to take Auburn here. To Colby's point, back-to-back losses. They again probably aren't trying super hard to win the entire tournament, but you need to get some wins. You need to get a little confidence. You don't want to be going into the tournament losing 3 games in a row. And we always talk about teams storming the court. Ole Miss did like a giant dog pile, and we're like piling on top of each other after they hit that shot to beat Arkansas. They didn't look good in that game. I thought Arkansas kind of played like shit, and we're letting them hang around in that game the entire time. So I think they got bailed out with that last shot there. If that goes to overtime, Arkansas might steal that game. I don't feel confident about Ole Miss. This is a big wake up call, I think, for Auburn. They put it on Ole Miss.
Yeah, I thought Arkansas was fortunate to be in the game at the end. But yeah, Ole Miss definitely was part of the reason. It's a lot of points. They can win the game by 8 and not cover 11.5. I'll take a dog here just to get people off the scent. St. Louis, Loyola, Chicago. I haven't even seen Sister Jean on the TV. Does she not go to conference tournaments anymore? -1.5. Colby.
Look, Loyola Chicago has not been the same team away from Chicago, despite I will say they did look good their last 2 outings, but for the majority of the year away from Chicago, they've looked bad. St. Louis to me has more scoring options with that fat blob of Mayo, Jimerson, Isaiah Swope.
They just got
so
their
I
ass
will
beat, like 30-point game.
Who did?
What are we talking about? Oh, St. Louis won by 30. You're saying, yeah,
yeah,
right?
Yes.
But
Loyola,
a lot of that is
Chicago,
Loyola can't score when they hit the road normally. Like that's the problem. They have an awesome home edge.
Yeah, they split. I mean, they lost in Chicago.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, look at their road wins.
Louis just beat them by 31 points at home.
Yeah.
That's all I was calling out.
No. I'm just pointing out they lost in Loyola a few weeks before that.
Yes.
Yeah. By 9 there. Colby, what are you doing here?
I'm taking St. Louis just because they, like I said, I like the fact they have 3 scoring options on a team. Loyola struggles to score outside of Chicago. If to me, like they're a great defensive team, but then when you take on St. Louis, you got to have multiple guys. I mean, that fat blob of Mayo. What did he do tonight, Sean?
He did good. And maybe Loyola Chicago. Maybe they got like a fish fry going. They get some pierogies, whatever the church is cooking up.
He almost had a triple double. The fat blob of Mayo almost had a triple double.
You love this guy.
Well, yeah, he got a triple double at the drive-thru on the way home.
Oh, wow.
Clog his arteries.
Wow.
But yeah, no, he is right. St. Louis is the play here as a small dog. The Billikens will be yapping. Kramer, what are you doing?
Oh yeah, I mean St. Louis. This feels like a wrong team is favored spot. If I've
bold call on a 1.5 point spread.
I would flip the spread around if I was creating the line here. 11:30 a.m. on the West Coast. Wisconsin, UCLA. Wisconsin fell right on the number today. Now they're laying 1.5 against UCLA. We kind of talked about, or at least we discussed when breaking down the conference, that we thought UCLA would have some success with the number being such where UCLA is the dog. Yeah, seems like we have back-to-back wrong team favored games. Colby.
Yeah, I mean this is one to me where first off, I thought they were pretty impressive today. But I tend to just think I took a future on UCLA, but Wisconsin did look better than I thought they would look today. But I'm on the Bruins. I got to back my future here, man.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think
it's a funny thing to say. I got to back my future.
Well, yeah,
I support my future.
Colby's locked in on his own personal future. UCLA's defense, I think, is going to be the difference here. I'm very tempted to take Wisconsin because of how good they are from the line, but I think UCLA 15th in defensive efficiency. That's going to be the difference in this game. You see that all the time in these neutral conference tournament games. Defense is the difference. So yeah, give me UCLA and the Bruins against the Badgers here. UCLA is a dog. It's telling you all you need to know. Load up on UCLA here, Kramer.
Yeah, and the bets. It does appear like people have bet Wisconsin. So perhaps reacting to that performance, I think a wrong team's favored parlay of St. Louis and UCLA on the money line could be in order.
Couple little tiny dogs.
Horns down. Texas taking on Tennessee in the state of Tennessee. Sean, did you know that the In-N-Out corporate headquarters is moving to Tennessee?
Did not know that.
Yeah, I learned that recently. That was somewhat shocking. How are they going to keep the meat frozen all the way across the country?
I don't
not
know.
Frozen.
They'll find a way.
Tennessee at 12:30 Pacific. Tennessee laying 9.5 here. I mean, this has to be the end of the road for this Texas team. To Sean's point, the circus that occurred in the game against A&M today can only happen with a Buzz Williams offense. Just zero commitment to any sort of plan on offense.
And they're coming off double OT. Instantly, I'm all over Tennessee here, but do we feel confident?
Yes.
Taking regular season Rick in what is technically a postseason game here. That's my concern. Colby, how do you see it?
Regular season Rick was fired by Texas, so I will. And this will be an all Tennessee crowd.
Yes, you're right.
I will lay it with the Vols. It's been a fun story. Texas. Another thing is Texas beating your rivals, Texas A&M, for the second time in a row.
Yeah,
in double OT, and that may have punched their ticket right into the tournament. Yeah, they
yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
I think not only did they probably punch their ticket, but to your point, they probably got a nice envelope after that win. That's
C-note game.
It's a C-note game.
We got to come up with a better name nowadays. C-note's not very impressive. Maybe we call
it
like
a Bitcoin game.
Yeah, a BTC. A couple stacks
BTC note.
BTC. Ooh, there you go. I like that. All of us on Tennessee. I keep talking about these step up moments in these tournaments. This one feels like Texas is ready to just be done. Horns down. And also maybe we can get a side by side of the Simpsons scientists with Rodney Terry. I think there is a lot of similarities between the facial structure. Toledo.
Well, you know who he reminded I mean, I could totally see the Professor Frank because of the glasses, but Rodney the Gus from Breaking Bad, the guy who owned the chicken place.
Okay, I haven't watched that show.
How do you not watch Breaking Bad?
He's incredible.
Insane.
He's a great actor.
Spoilers, please.
What is his name again? I know his name. He's a great actor.
I'll try and look it up. Someone had it on Twitter, the back-to-backs, but it definitely looks pretty realistic.
He looks like a character from The Fifth Element or something.
What the hell is his name? It's like I definitely know his name. He's been in a bunch of stuff. He was in Usual Suspects. He was the detective in Usual Suspects. Or no, he was the doctor in Usual Suspects. He was also in I don't know. He's been in a bunch of movies. He's great. Just drawing a blank on his name right now. But yeah, it's a good comparison too. I like that one.
Gus Fring is the guy's name. Thank you, Patrick Fisher.
No, the actor's name though.
No, we don't
actor's
care about
name.
Actor's name.
Yeah.
Colby wants to give the guy credit. Toledo, Akron,
Giancarlo Esposito.
Yes,
wow.
yes, he's great. He's great.
You didn't say that very Italian, Sean.
I don't think he's Italian. Giovanni is Italian.
So is Giancarlo.
No, he's not.
Unfortunately, I didn't bet on Akron today. I made a big mistake. Akron now laying 8.5, 2 p.m. on the West Coast in Cleveland, Ohio, against Toledo. They played somewhat recently. Akron was very impressive to me today, even though I know Bowling Green not a very good team. Colby, what are we doing here?
Well, a little bit of a rivalry game here, so I mean that gets a little tricky. But Akron did look amazing today. I mean, it's just too big of a number for me, though. It's just too big of a number. These games have been kind of wild games. I'll take the points with the Rockets. Akron.
9-point game back on March 4th. It was a 8-point game. Sorry, 7-point game back in January 14th.
I'm kind of with Colby in not wanting to lay 8.5 in the MAC, but the counter is that Toledo game was OT. Are we worried they're going to be a little gassed here and then Akron is just going to roll late? That would be my, like, this to me feels like it's going to be a game, and then the last 5 minutes, Akron just puts it on.
It wasn't just an OT game. It was like they exerted a lot of
I think
energy.
I think
they don't play a very deep bench. You look at how many players play significant minutes. It's 6 guys. They have 6 guys who played greater than 6 minutes. So to your point, might be a more difficult turnaround.
Yeah, Akron all day for me.
Let's lay it with Akron. George Washington. This is, I know a lot of people are tuning in for this next handicap. We're going back to the nation's capital, 2 p.m. on the West Coast. George Washington, George Mason. Hearing reports, George Mason actually talking about a football program. Colby, are you guys bullying them into actually bringing back football at George Mason? Laying 2.5 on the hardwood here.
Yeah, starting it. They've never had it, believe it or not. But George Washington could bring it back.
George Mason's never had football.
Never. And their enrollment is what, 40,000 right now? Ridiculous.
How do you
Absolutely
avoid
ridiculous.
having a football team,
especially when the Redskins have been a disaster over the past 20 years and half the fan base is out? You're just sitting there with the dynamite stick and you just can't find a match.
Yeah,
it's a no-brainer.
What are you trying to do with that dynamite?
I don't know. That's an interesting metaphor.
Light it and then do what? Hopefully
take over the world. Look at JMU. JMU is 2 hours away. They're rivals in every other sport. Look at what JMU has done.
Yeah.
In just a little bit of time here. I mean, JMU jumped their football program up in the 80s, but then they really in the past 10 years have revved it up and now they're, to me, a pretty damn good program in all sports, really.
Got to hurry up. Norfolk State coming with a Vic there on the sideline. What are we doing in the basketball game?
Yeah, this is a tricky one because these games, I think it was the first one was like one of the best basketball games of the season. And both coaches know each other really well. They were on the same staff. So prior to this, but I'm going to trust Mason here. Washington, GW actually probably should have lost today. So give me Mason, better defensive team. Curious to see what the crowd will be. I think Mason will have it, but
George Washington's offense is kind of ass. And to your point, Colby, George Mason does have the better defense. They 2-0 in the regular season. As we know, it's very easy to beat a team 3 times if you're the better team, which George Mason is. So lay it with George Mason. Kramer, I assume you're taking George Mason.
I'm on George Mason.
There you go.
Although I am in favor of the name Revolutionaries. Marquette, St. John's back in the Garden. St. John's, they looked good.
They're just awesome.
They look good.
I mean, it really. There's no. We can get cute and think of, maybe if this happens or Pitino's just gonna fucking roll.
They're laying 4.5 here against Marquette. They
beat Marquette when they didn't want to beat Marquette. They had
by
guys
2
out
in overtime. The game where they were a little bit more fully loaded. It was a 6-point game. And was that game in the Garden or was that?
That was in the Garden. That's what I'm saying. That was like a 1 possession game until like 2 minutes left. The reason why I like taking Marquette and I took them the time prior and they shit on that steal, but they play kind of a similar game in a way. Like they're not as good, but they like to. They're both. I mean, any Shaka Smart team is going to be a defense first team. Same with Rick Pitino, And so expect terrible shooting, great defense, and I think they're going to cover the 4.5. I think the money line's live here just because they got the Xavier game. They got they looked the part. They got the gut check too of like being down big and coming all the way back. St. John's, you want to lose before the NCAA tournament. I really buy that. Give me Marquette to get that dub.
Shaka Smart here in New York.
I think they have a better Marquette. I think out of all the teams, maybe you could convince me Creighton, but I think it's Marquette.
What if the additional attention Pitino's paying to the media is just confidence, and he knows this team's got something. I'm not betting. I mean, Colby's probably right to bet again to take the points here, but I'm not doing it.
The couple times I've had money against St. John's this year, I feel
not in
dumb.
The Garden.
I feel dumb. Give me St. John's.
Maryland, Illinois handled those staples, no problem. 3:30.
Iowa almost backdoored that.
3:30 p.m. on the West Coast.
10.5. They won by 11.
Oh, if Fran doesn't get those texts, we're probably good.
Yeah. Dickhead move by him. Maryland lane
went out like a G.
Maryland lane 1.5 here. Illinois, a team that I don't think I've gotten right at all this season.
I haven't either, and I know because Murphy Mush. Anytime I pick against Illinois, you guys, and he keeps waiting for Colby to apologize to the Illinois head coach Brad Underwood.
Never,
Colby, are you going to apologize to Brad Underwood?
Never.
After this win, I will because the Illini. I can't trust Maryland's execution. No. They're all over the place. Like Maryland is a team that talent wise, I think could go very far in March, but I just don't trust Kevin Willard. I'll go back to the Michigan State game where I just thought that was just such a terrible game plan and there was not much adjustments. There's not much movement offensively. They looked unorganized. Give me the Illini.
Yeah, I want to take Illinois here, but Maryland did beat them by 21.
They had the flu
Illinois.
that game. Allegedly,
the Hong Kong flu.
That was the handshake game.
No, the handshake game was Wisconsin, but they said that they had the flu for this one.
I'll take Illinois, just so Murphy Mush doesn't attack me. And I do think they looked really good. Like, I'm not going to say Iowa should have got the cover, but I was fortunate to stay in that game because of their that one kid, I'm blanking on his name, got hot from behind the arc and was just nailing shot after shot after shot. If Maryland doesn't do that, I think Illinois could have won by a pretty big number here. So I will take Illinois catching the small 1.5. Kramer?
Wait, do we have another wrong team favored?
Oh no.
This added to the parlay. North Carolina, Illinois plus the 1.5 is what I'll take. North Carolina, Duke.
Thanks for clarifying.
We got a rivalry game in a neutral court in Charlotte. There's going to be lots of fans there. Duke maybe tapping out after a couple injury scares / actual injuries. Maybe a good escape route if you're someone who sees how good Duke is but don't want to bet on Duke for the tournament or have Duke get to your Final Four. Putting Duke into your Final Four says something about you as a person. And I've been thinking about that because I have been touting Duke as one of the teams that I think can win the championship, but I don't think I want them in my Final Four. So
wait, I mean, is that who are you, Colby?
Well,
I don't want them in my Final Four, but yeah, they got a good shot to win this.
Now that
really painting both sides there, aren't you?
Now that Cooper Flagg's hurt, maybe who knows? It's real open here, and in this spot particularly, come on, North Carolina's winning this game now. This is the most obvious bet on the board. Money.
That's what's hilarious. The past couple games, people have been like, North Carolina's too chalky. Everyone's gonna be on it. Well, everyone cashed both times. So do it again here. Look, there's no Malik Brown. There's no Cooper Flagg. Carolina had a lead with what? I don't know, 8 minutes left in Chapel Hill. They blew it. A lot of that had to do with.
I guess my concern is, and not even like everyone's gonna be on UNC. But my concern is that the role players around Duke are like, hey, we got to win one for Cooper. We got to do this for Cooper. We see this all the time.
Fuck about Cooper.
We see this all the time in basketball where the star player goes out And that first game after the rest of the role players, guys not getting in as much, they see this as an opportunity. They take advantage of it. They get up for the game. And then the game after is when you really need to fade them.
Yeah, if the rivalry element of also then Duke kind of giving up, like knowing that you're not. I assume have they announced they're just going to put these guys on the shelf?
They're both out for tomorrow.
I was going to say there wouldn't be any reason to try to rush them back, regardless. Yeah. So that element of knowing that you're getting your rival a little bit weak, maybe to Kobe's
Hey, I'm on UNC. I'm just playing the devil's advocate.
All right, I know you like the devil.
I will. Devil rocks. If you're talking about music, definitely give me the devil over. I mean, shout out to God too, but not. Come on. I mean, if you're going for music taste alone, Satan definitely rocks.
Really?
I would say
Grateful Dead. You think is more of a Satan? See, I would have gone
friend
the
of
other
the devil, Ryan. Come on, it's right there in the fucking song title.
I don't think Satan's listening to Jerry Garcia.
Well, a certain like laid back, cool Satan.
I think Jerry Garcia is probably hanging out in the good side.
Yeah, Jerry Garcia is definitely in heaven, but the devil likes classic rock. What I was getting at was, I'm going to martingale this. So what I'll do is a martingale.
Yes.
You're familiar with the martingale system.
I am, yeah.
I'll play UNC, and then if Duke wins and covers, I'm going to double that bet against Duke the following.
Got it.
Knowing that one of these is going to win.
The classic Duke martingale. This should actually would work for March Madness as well.
Also,
no
sounds
way
like
they win the national championship.
Sounds like a fake name. I'm the hotel's registered under Duke Martingale. Hey, have you guys signed up over at mybookie.ag? If not, what are you waiting for? Get in on all the live in-game wagering. You can easily deposit with sweet cryptocurrency over at mybookie.ag. When you use the promo code SGPN, you get up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you use the promo code SGPN. Get in on the in-game wagering. Love the easy deposit, even easier withdrawal with that sweet cryptocurrency. mybookie.ag. Time for our underdog fantasy bonus pick'em entry. Coming off a nice winner, Colby, it was pretty sweet because Kramer over here decided to fade us and didn't get it done.
Didn't work.
Colby from the college experience got it done. Nice, easy cash money. Colby, what are you doing?
So impressed.
Well, we're going right back to the well, especially after a game winner. Sean Padula under 15 and a half points.
And of course you mean lower, correct?
Lower.
Colby?
I'm sorry. Lower under 15 and a half points. And I will also take that fat blob of mayo, Robbie Avila,
really
lower than 18 and a half points. Sean,
look, lower.
Loyola Chicago is a good defensive team. He went for 30. He went for like 30 or 28, whatever it was in St. Louis. But the first matchup, he only had 13 in Loyola. Trust me, they study the film. They're not going to let him beat him.
Can't miss that guy in film. Yeah, I'm with you. $100 entry returns you $300. Padula lower 15 and a half points, and Robbie Avila lower 18 and a half points. And of course, use our promo code, helps us out and helps you out because you get up to $1,000 in bonus credits. Underdog Fantasy promo code SGPN.
I went the opposite again. FYI.
But double hires, right?
Yep.
Okay. Best of luck.
Fading you.
Psych.
Fading you guys again. BYU, Houston. This is a fun game. Maybe the game I'm most interested in watching tomorrow. Houston laying, and we will be at the Circa for this one. Oh man, we might need to find some sort of stimulant for me tomorrow. The little one's got training at 5 a.m.
Oh my God.
And with these games, I'm not going to have
a nap. It's gonna be tough to take your nap, right?
I don't know when I'm getting a nap in, so we might just have to we'll find something to help me focus. Houston laying 7.5, and it just turns out I'm staying in Vegas for the weekend.
Sounds fun
for some youth sports. Youth sports in Vegas, not the best mix. Houston laying 7.5 here. Houston looks very good. At some point, BYU is going to run into a team that's just going to be a little too much for them. But they showed great resolve against Iowa State. They were not the team that broke down. And unlike so many teams that we watch, they actually look like they practice end game shit.
Yeah.
They were very prepared for the moments in the game when Iowa State gave them opportunities. And so while I don't think Houston's going to give them as many opportunities, and I would like this number to be a little bit longer. I also think the idea that Houston gets bounced out of the conference tournament, not the worst thing. So I'll take the points here with BYU. Colby.
Yeah, I agree with you. If you're Houston, you're good to go. I feel like you don't want to press it too much. You don't want guys injured. Juwan Roberts, game time decision. If I'm Kelvin Sampson, I'm saying sit your ass down. Walker as well. I would just say sit your ass down. We're good. And BYU's play and what BYU will have the crowd. They'll have the crowd there. So BYU's coming into their own, especially offensively with the three ball and everything.
By the way, we nailed that. The Mormon population in Kansas City.
Yeah, the crowd was going nuts. I think the crowd will be here again. This BYU team is just ever since Conor McGregor went there to the campus, promoted jacked up. This team has been jacked up. They're just such a fun classic college basketball team to watch. Kramer, you pointed out they look like they practice. They have end game situation stuff right. They do a pretty good at the job at the line.
A lot of old guys, that helps, right? You know, so a couple guys who went on a mission or two,
and now they're on a mission to fuck people up in college basketball. I love this BYU team. They really jump off the page. I think they're gonna. Obviously, Houston's defense is very, very good, but I think they're gonna be able to put up some points against them. 7.5, way too high. Lock potential. BYU. The Cougs.
Impressive. They have every conference has their like studio show in the building where the conference tournament is. Number of the BYU guys getting interviewed. Very, very impressive. Just the way that they were talking about, basically how things went exactly how coach had prepared them. Things were going to go. So, let's take maybe a little money line consideration there. Certainly.
I like it.
Houston also the heel. So even if it's not a BYU fan, they're probably rooting for BYU unless they're a Houston fan. Missouri taking on Florida. This is a nice matchup here.
I'm seeing 8.5 right now, by the way.
For which game? Houston or Florida?
The Florida game.
Florida laying 8.5 against Missouri, 4 p.m. on the West Coast. Nice win by Missouri. Nice win in cover. Now they run into a much tougher foe. I do think Florida is in the mix, obviously, to win this conference tournament, but I don't know what it is. I just want to keep riding with this Missouri team, and with this many points, I'll keep it going.
Yeah, I'm with you too. I mean, I think Mizzou, they had that tough stretch. They're back. They figured it out today. Remember, they beat the Gators too, and I think they're one of the teams that has kind of a blueprint that can mess with them. You know what I mean? Like I feel like maybe even more than Alabama or Auburn. I feel like Missouri is an interesting matchup for Florida with Bates and Grill, and then Mitchell, the Duke transfer. They got multiple options to score, much like Florida does. And give me the points there. 8.5.
Florida's a good team.
8.5.
We'll call it 8.5.
8.5.
Okay. To me, if you go in and you beat Florida, this Florida team in the swamp, that's saying a lot. Whether it's matchup, whether it's whatever it is, Missouri is, I think, is going to be a tough out for Florida, and this could be a fun Missouri BYU moneyline parlay if you want to.
I'm a degenerate.
If you're looking for a little massive payout, you could do worse than Mizzou and BYU moving on with some outright wins.
I specifically, just the Missouri effort today was, I don't know, maybe sometimes it's just, you're the game that catches my attention for a little bit. And what just happened, Colby?
Oklahoma just stole the inbounds pass. They've scored 10 straight, and it's down to a 5-point game with 1:10 left.
Come on.
Yeah.
Can we
Sooners.
talk? I mean, Porter Moser is very sharp on television. What do you think, Buzz Williams or Porter Moser? Who do you think?
It was a hilarious angle from we got a flagrant foul on Oklahoma. It looks like, though.
Oh no.
I don't think it's a flagrant, but they'll call it a flagrant. But Moneyline Mac with a great angle of is asking me, he's looking sharp. Is he going through a divorce? He didn't used to look like this at Loyola Chicago.
I don't want. Yeah, I want to. I'm not saying I'm attracted to the guy, but he certainly has some charisma.
More bad news for Buzz Williams. He's on Kramer. He's on Kramer and him are on the outs.
He didn't
lost
even
to Texas.
He didn't take his jacket off the entire game.
Kramer was in the office just going, "Take the coat off. Take it off." Felt like it was at a strip club.
But that's how you can tell he's into it. He needs to get lower. He's playing defense. He slides left and right.
He's not into it.
St. Joe's, Dayton. Unfortunately, St. Joe's executed the Explorers.
So lucky there wasn't a minute left. 1 minute more. That shit was a loss.
Dayton laying 1.5. 4:30 p.m. on the West Coast. Colby.
It's a smash spot. Dayton's gonna fuck them up.
Yeah.
St. Joe's is a counterfeit team. Yeah, Dayton won by 5 last time they played, but Dayton's turned the corner. You saw them go into VCU and put it on them all over the Flyers here against St. Joe's.
Sean, you don't have much left to pull for.
No,
as a
I know.
Philly guy.
Yeah. R.I.P. Temple's out. CSUN's out.
My God, what is Syracuse is out? Are any of your teams still alive?
Michigan State. I'm sure I could. Well, no, Villanova. No, let's see. Mostly going to be Michigan State. It feels like they can't. They'll at least definitely be in the tournament. But I'm with you. The Flyers are going to smash St. Joe's. St. Joe's is not good. All over Dayton here. Kramer, what are you doing?
I will also take Dayton. I wasn't the best. I know you're a big LaSalle fan, but that was not the best last game, unfortunately.
They cut it to what time did you leave? They cut that thing to 3, I think, with what, like 30 seconds left.
I'm just saying, yeah, neither team played well was more the comment. It was unfortunate they didn't bring their A game. They could have won the game. That would have been a nice. That would have been a nice money line. I tried to bet them yesterday. You guys wouldn't let me. I tried to bet them. Kent State, Miami of Ohio. Kent State laying 3.5. Little Maction here. 4:30 p.m. on the West Coast. Colby.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's telling here because Miami, Ohio is the 2 seed. Surprising, right? It's kind of revealing the hand. Miami, Ohio won by 4 last time they played February 21st. So we know Kramer's pick. But Kent State's the better team this year. Travis Lexington Steele's done a good job with the Redskins there, but I think Kent State has just been the better team despite being 3rd place in the MAC. They just passed the eye test a little more athletic, a little more length, I feel like. So give me Kent State. And I think the line's telling you as well. Give me Kent State minus the 3.5.
Nice 4-point edge there on the free throw line. And I'm with Colby. Anytime lower seed favored, and we'll be I'm sure that'll come up when we talk March Madness betting strategies. March Madness. I don't think it's officially a 10 commandment, but it's kind of up there with ways to approach and bet on March Madness. We'll be doing that podcast selection Sunday. Get you ready to fill out your brackets and dominate. I'm with you, Colby. Give me Kent State laying the 3.5.
It kind of is one of the commandments in terms of like not respecting the seed line, essentially.
Yeah.
Because that's all this is, right? You're when the lower seed or the higher seed is favored, the theory would be, well, you back it because it's not favored by enough, because the seed numbering is holding them back because of the average Joe drinking his gas station coffee and slapping down a bet. Imagine a day where you just slap down a bet at a gas station side of the road.
Yeah, you can in a lot of.
No, I mean, like, get rid of this digital shit. Like, I want, like, let the bombs drop. Let's go to the post-apocalyptic world.
I think like
where I can slap down a ticket.
I think in Ohio, and they maybe got rid of them, but you could they had like kiosks at a Kroger.
Trading parts.
Kramer, what are you doing?
Oh, what do you mean? What am I doing?
Well, Miami of Ohio beat them twice, so
it's true.
That's
you know what? I like Kent State, but I shouldn't. I've been fading that the entire episode so far. I have been fading my own theory. Kent State was impressive today. Give me Kent State.
Wow,
I'm falling for it. I would earlier in the show I would have scolded myself for this kind of take. Okay, Akron's gonna fuck up everyone in the MAC. Purdue, Michigan. Sean hates the Big Ten. Getting out of here. 6 p.m. on the West Coast. Purdue laying 2.5. I don't know what to think about Purdue. Colby, my instincts say we're taking Michigan here.
No, disagree.
No.
Purdue will have that crowd. Michigan down the stretch, I thought hadn't looked near. They've lost 3 straight for a reason. I think they were kind of. I mean, Dusty May did a great job in year 1, but I just think that they were kind of catching. They were like a very lucky team. I thought they had played so many games by 1 to 5 points where they got the win. I'm on Purdue. I like the fact they got to play in game 2.
Did you think I thought I mean, the fact that they were letting USC
agreed
work them a little bit there was that perhaps that's where my recency bias is kicking in, and I'm just going to take Michigan.
Every time I bet on Purdue, I'm like, God, why'd I bet on this pussy ass team? I don't know why they.
You know what it is?
Maybe I just always hated how hyped they were with the Edie and love faded them and love seeing them lose outright in round 1. And
here's
just
what
their coach has just been such a notorious choker, Matt Painter.
I listened to Dusty May on Pardon My Take, and they seemed pissed about losing him. The situation that went down with Michigan State and them standing on the logo and all that stuff. So I think that
was also kind of a bitch move by Michigan.
Yeah, big time.
Like pretending they didn't know why Michigan State was pissed. It's like, yeah, just say, hey, it's a rivalry game. Things got chippy. Instead, he goes, well, what? You can't stand on I can't stand on the center of the court now. No, you were trying
the best response.
You were trying to do it to piss them off. Own it. Be like, yeah, it's a rivalry game. Shit gets chippy. We lost the game. We played like shit.
I'm taking Michigan. I felt there's
Colby, you're on Purdue.
I felt confidence coming through that interview. That's what it is. So I'm Michigan. Circle them.
So we feel good about Matt Painter in this situation.
No. Did you watch the
Cole,
USC?
He's not
Colby,
vocalizing.
They could have very easily lost to a not very good USC team.
The thing that keeps jumping out at me is Purdue's defense, 2-point defense, 341st in the nation. Michigan's offense, 7th.
That's their
in
game.
the nation. That
they got big.
I feel like you could just attack them in the paint. There, are we worried about that, Colby?
Yeah, I mean, Michigan's bigs are super elite, but I just feel like they've looked bad as a team the past couple games. So I'm gonna take the Boilermakers. You know they're gonna have that crowd too. So
Sean, you like Danny Wolf, the Yale kid?
I'm going Purdue.
Oh my goodness,
Purdue's the move.
You're gonna watch Danny Wolf tomorrow, and you're like, "Fuck, I should have bet on this team." Boise State, New Mexico, not in the pit in Las Vegas. Plenty of 24-hour food establishments. Boise State, impressive win today. Mr. Meadow, impressive bowl cut in 2025 to be rocking the rec specs with the bull, and the glasses are always crooked. They're always crooked, like he just got hit in the face. Colby, what are we doing here? New Mexico. I don't actually know what to do here. And by the way, let me compliment the Mountain West real quick. That's how you put a design on your court without looking like fucking assholes. Big 12.
100%. I'm on Boise. Look, they're still, they won today. You think they're soundly in, but you never know who could steal bids. You never know, what will happen within the ACC or within some of these other conferences that, I guess the ACC, Carolina could steal. I mean, technically if they're on the outside right now, I know some have them in, some have them out. That could be a bid, stealing right there. You have a couple other spots in the mid-major ranks. Yeah. You also have the mid-major ranks. Like if the A-10 upset happens, so Boise still got to play. New Mexico's in, and Boise's the more veteran team. Let's go. Give me Boise State.
Let's go Oklahoma. Colby, where are we at?
I know. I'm trying to have a hard time. This is unbelievable. They were down. They were down 10 points with like a minute and 5 seconds left. It's 84-83. Oklahoma up 1 right now. 5 seconds left.
No way.
Yeah.
This is
add Boise State to the wrong team favored parlay.
Really?
Oh yeah.
So wait, but Boise State's not favored, but they're in the wrong team favored parlay.
Yeah, because the wrong team favored parlay is us taking the teams that should be favored.
Are we sure we want to fade a Patino here in Las Vegas?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I'm kind of.
I was very impressed by Boise State. Perhaps I'm focused too much because I watched the entire San Diego State Boise State game.
But we don't feel good about New Mexico here on a neutral. Looked very clean against San Jose State.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah,
but the San Jose, not an impressive team to me.
I'm going with New Mexico. I like this New Mexico team. I'll take them laying the short number in Vegas. That's where they're at.
That's 10-point win over San Diego State. Very impressive.
But yeah, of Boise State beating San Diego State by 10.
That's very impressive.
Yeah,
beating San Jose State by 11, not nearly as impressive.
All right, you're talking me into it. I want to be on the side of that Andrew Meadow kid. Plus, that guy's going places.
Yeah, I want Boise State to be in the tournament.
Yeah, they could be a fun team. I'll take Boise State. Obviously, don't feel great about it.
Clemson, Louisville. Clemson was not looking great for a big part.
Louisville should have lost.
Well, that was going to be the second part of my comment. Neither one. I would say both of these teams, for large chunks of the game, did not look like the better team. Clemson again will be a darling. A lot of sharps will be try to tell you they're a cute team to get to the Elite Eight or something like that because of their Ken Pom balance. Clemson catching a point against Louisville. Yeah, I don't know what to make of this. My default reaction is Clemson.
Oh no!
What happened?
Kentucky won
at the buzzer. Yeah, fuck. Kentucky. Yeah.
Do you have a money line ticket?
No.
Oklahoma to win the SEC.
Oh my God, hey, Colby! It's been wild. So Sean has just been walking around the office. Anytime
these futures.
Anytime one of his futures dies, he's belly aching like
it's 150 to 1.
Like he lost the payout on the future. Oh my!
How do they get a shot off?
How much did that just cost? How much?
Coast to coast. Kentucky they went coast to coast. It was it made like a runner.
Unbelievable.
How much they
take out of your pocket there?
15 hundo.
Oh, all right.
But I got the cover. Oklahoma plus 6.5 all day there. Easy money.
Clemson, Louisville. Colby.
I'm all over Clemson here. I think Louisville's a little bit of fool's gold this year, even though we were on Stanford to get today for a reason. We thought Stanford could win on the money line. They probably should have won on the money line. Clemson's a better team, more experienced team. They went through the Elite Eight a year ago. This Louisville team's a bunch of mixed pieces they picked up in the offseason. Louisville's still a solid team. It's been a great year for Pat Kelsey. Clemson's a better team. They get it done.
I'm with you. Yeah, Clemson all day. Better team, better.
Kind of another wrong
just a
team.
Little favor. Just a little fade of Louisville.
Wrong team favored.
Stanford should have won that thing.
Wrong team favored. Arizona, Texas Tech. This will be a very good game. Nightcap, 6:30 p.m. on the West Coast. Texas Tech laying 2.5. Colby.
I'm all over Texas Tech here. Arizona had the big win against Kansas today. Arizona's defense to me is the thing that it's solid. It's gotten better as the season's gone along. But Texas Tech, top 50 defensive rated team, also a top 10 offensive rated team. You throw those things together, it's big issues for Arizona. Give me the Red Raiders.
Yeah, agreed.
I'm going to answer, guys. I'm taking Arizona. Yeah, I like what I've seen out of this Arizona team. I like my future. I'm going to keep riding it. Give me the Cats here plus 2.5.
I think Tech could be a Final Four team in my bracket.
Really?
Oh yeah.
We'll see their path. They're interesting, but I'm on Arizona.
Yukon, Creighton, in the Garden, 6 p.m. Little nightcap for Yukon, laying 3.5 here. Colby, we obviously are getting Yukon St. John's in the final, right?
No, we're gonna get Marquette and Yukon, So I like Yukon here. Michael Creighton should have lost today to DePaul. Magical comeback there. At the Garden with that crowd behind him, and also they're playing for a higher seed in the NCAA tournament. I saw this whole thing about his team meeting a while back, where he said, we could do this. We win the Big East tournament. We'll lock up. I think he said a 3 seed or a 4 seed, which I thought was over ambitious, but hey, they're rolling right now. Give me Yukon to get it done.
Yeah, I mean, we call Yukon's going to win the
Yeah,
Big East,
this is Yukon waking up against an inferior opponent. 3.5 feels a bit short. So yeah, give me Yukon here. Consensus play on the Huskies laying the 3.5. All right, time for a couple locks and a dog. Reminder: 20% off everything in the merch store. Promo code Madness from now until when the tourney starts. Kramer, what do you got? 3 locks and a dog.
All right, lots of wrong team favors. We're just gonna go right with them. Give me St. Louis plus 1.5.
Okay.
Give me, give me Akron laying 8.5. I regret not taking them today. Don't want to do that again. Give me Clemson plus the 1. Oh, and Colby's gone.
Maybe we'll get Colby back.
Maybe we'll see. And then dog.
Dog.
North Carolina. It's either and actually get Clemson out of there and let's swap in BYU plus the points.
Oh no, really,
yeah.
Ryan?
Yeah.
All right, so you got St. Louis, Akron, BYU, UNC on the money line. All right, for me, give me.
Hold on, we need to address the chat real quick.
What's going on with the chat?
There's some concerned fans wondering if
did Colby go to heaven? I'll see you at the crossroads, or you won't be lonely.
Yeah, but Bone Thugs Satan isn't listening to that shit.
He's entering his locks into the sheet from beyond the grave.
Okay, I'll read on his behalf.
Okay, I'll take Tennessee laying the 9.5. This is just an awesome opportunity to get a fade Texas here. For me, the next one I want to get down on here. Illinois is pretty interesting. UNC, definitely BYU, and we're calling this at 7.5.
Are you saying that because that's not the number?
Well, you gave out BYU 8.5 as your lock, but we have it on the sheet here as 7.5. I was just looking for some clarity.
Who said 8.5?
Oh, I thought you did.
I said plus the points.
Okay.
I don't think I said a number.
All right, I'll take BYU plus 7.5. And then
and the number, it does seem to be pretty flat, 7.5 across the. Actually, it's 7.5 everywhere but the Circa that has a 7.
Also take Dayton here. Don't like St. Joe's was pretty fraudulent. For my money line, I do like UNC. I also think Missouri has a chance to win this outright. Give me Mizzou on the money line. I do like your UNC play. So Missouri on the money line, Dayton laying the 1.5, BYU getting 7.5, and Tennessee laying 9.5.
Colby is he likes his shockers. He likes Dayton. He told you that very strongly. Dayton. So he copied your lock there, and then he's double dipping on UNC.
Oh, he's
plus
doing
the
it.
6.5 money line. What could possibly go wrong?
All right, Kramer, let's talk Ivy League. I know Colby's protesting because of their mask policy.
Is that what this is?
I think so. I think that's sense. What it was.
Colby wouldn't dare. All right, let's I mean, look at this. Shout out to the Ivy League, right? Smartest motherfuckers in the world. Look at this graphic. They don't give a fuck about the graphic. Someone actually took this out. Like they said, "Hey, make a PowerPoint." And they said, "Well, that's not what we do anymore. Just make a."
I mean, it's the most prestigious schools, quote unquote. I mean,
this is the shittiest.
They have endowments in the billions.
Yeah,
and this is their graphic.
This is really bad.
I mean,
we could make a better Ivy League.
Look at the Big Ten graphic. This is sad.
I don't mind their.
I appreciate the simplicity, but like the color coordination's all fucked up.
Yeah. Well, it's a conference full of private school pussies who some people need to be reminded the Ivy League is just a sports conference. That's all it is. All right. So they're playing this year in Providence. I feel like in seasons past it's been hosted. So I don't know. I assume this is being hosted by Brown then, even though Brown's not there. That's kind of fucked up. They make you host it even if you didn't make the postseason. Feels a little bit fucked up. as you can see, there's not much complication here. Now, if the Ivy League wanted to have some fun, they could let two more teams in and have a little bye action.
Yeah,
the top two.
They
seeds.
should let everyone in. What else?
Well, they've only recently started having a tournament. They used to just give their regular season champ the auto bid. They were the last team to adopt a conference tournament, and so they begrudgingly said, "All right, how many rounds do we need? We need more than one game. Okay, we'll do a 2-round tournament." Anyway, games are being played in Providence. 8 a.m. for the first one. Princeton, Yale, the 4-1 seed. Here's what I know about the Ivy League this year.
Yep.
Yale's good.
Yale.
Yale's good, and I
Yale destroyed Princeton both times. I know. Does Princeton still running the Princeton offense?
They a lot of back cuts, a lot of white guys.
It's my annual Princeton offense.
Great cardio. The only thing to note from the conference this year, because again, Yale's very good, is that Dartmouth does have a very good defense. So if you wanted to be a contrarian, you could potentially find a way to look to play a dog there. But in the first game, yeah, I think you have to lay the points. Colby from the grave, beyond the grave, is taking Princeton. Does that make you change your opinion?
No, I'm sticking with Yale all the way. And agreeing with this Cowboys fan. Hopefully it's Oklahoma State, not the Dallas
Ken Palm likes this number to be 9. So
yeah, I'll take Yale in the 8-9.
Cornell and Dartmouth. This is a 4-point line. This is the second game, 11 a.m. on the West Coast. Now, I think this is a game where you could take the dog if you wanted to, but general rule of thumb in the Ivy League: take the favorites. So give me Cornell.
Colby also on Cornell. Do we have a consensus play on Cornell?
I don't know. I mean, are we sure this is Colby, or has someone hacked his phone?
Well, we are worried about some outside forces. So
where do you think he went?
It's a great question. I'm going Dartmouth, getting the 4 points there. Yeah.
Look at these futures. What does it tell you?
Dartmouth #1 in conference defense. So yeah, I think they're live.
That's the zig.
And give me the big green. Of course, I'm Sean Big Green. Give me Dartmouth 6-1 for the conference tourney. I think they win this game, and I think you're going to be pretty happy. You're sitting on a 6 + 6 to 1 going up against Yale there. So I'll take Dartmouth there at 600. Kramer, what are you doing?
I'll take Yale -160.
Sharp.
I mean, what's their money? What's the mechanical parlay going to be? They'll be laying a big number against either team that they play. This is a great price. Absolute great price.
Okay.
You would need to have, it would need to be worse. Yeah. I just did the math. Trust me.
The math checks. Trust Kramer. I'm going Dartmouth, Big Green. Gonna be in the dance, shaking. Let's go.
I like, Big Green and Big Red.
Big Green,
again,
Big Red.
These are the smartest, most sophisticated universities.
I do like how they all have the big letters as part of their logos. That's kind of fun.
That's like the old school varsity.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the throwback there.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, closing it out, previewed all the conference tournaments, giving you a ton of ATS picks. Tune into our VSiN show tomorrow night, 8:00 Pacific, VSiN.com. Oh, and VSiN is free from now until when the tournament starts. So sign up for VSiN, get your account, check it out. The betting splits, the free picks, a bunch of great content over on VSiN, including our show. We're going to have CJ hopping on as well. But it's going to be college basketball heavy, talking betting strategies, getting Colby back on, lot to get to, and it'll be a lot more of the Saturday games as well, because there's only so many we could. It's basically just the Ivy League because we got to figure out who wins Friday.
Yeah, you can't look ahead,
No.
It's hard.
No. But yeah, check that out, and of course, promo code Madness, 20% off everything in the merch store. Look at these DGen hats; they are sharped. And Anthony's saying Colby got jacked up by a stingray. Yes, much like the crocodile hunter, Pick Dundee went out the same way. So we'll pour one out for Pick Dundee. Get in on the survivor pool. Splashsports.com/SGPN. Get in on our $2,000 free bracket contest. You're welcome. Sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bracket. Whoever wins it, winner take all. 2K up for grabs. Let's get it. And yeah, come say hi next Wednesday. Stadium Swim, the Rhythm Party. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/party 4:30. And of course,
thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green. He's Ryan.
I think we should redesign the Ivy League logo for them.
Kramer, let it ride.